Hi, I'm Diane Kometa, and today on Dishin with Di, I'm going to show you how to make a Philly cheesesteak. This is Philadelphia's most popular sandwich. Ribeye steak sliced very thin, served on a crusty roll, topped with melted cheese. And I'm going to show you how to do it at home right now on Dishin with Di. You need some fresh torpedo or long rolls, some ribeye steak that's been sliced thin, some American cheese, and some chopped onions. I also have some olive oil and some butter for cooking my onions, and I have some ketchup to top things off. Now, ketchup is optional, but everybody that I know has their cheesesteaks with ketchup, so keep that in mind. Now, real quick, a couple things about Philly cheesesteaks. I am originally from Philly, so I've had my share of them in my life, and it's something that's very common around here in Jersey as well. Now, the important thing is not just the meat, but the rolls. So you want to have a roll that's not like a hot dog roll that's soft, but you want to have something that's a little crusty on the outside and soft on the inside so that it doesn't get soggy when you put the steak in there and the cheese and whatever else you might want to put in there. But you don't want it to be too hard. So you want to have a nice crispness on the outside and that softness on the inside. The other thing is the meat itself. Now, it's traditionally ribeye steak that's sliced or chipped or chopped, I think they call it, and then they freeze it and they put these little papers between it so it's easily accessed when you want to make your sandwiches. Now, this can be found in your grocery store, or you can ask the butcher and tell them what you're going to be doing, and they should understand, what you're talking about. But it's ribeye steak that's sliced really super thin. So the other thing is with the cheese. The American cheese is what I'm making it with today, but traditionally it's been made with Cheese Whiz, which is not even real cheese. It's kind of a processed cheese substitute, but that's what it originally started with. And then other options are provolone cheese. So I like it with the American cheese, but you can choose whatever you'd like. Onions is also an option, but it's very popular and it's a very common thing with cheesesteaks. So what we're going to do first is get over to the stove, and I have a pan over there. I'm going to heat that up and we're going to cook the onions. I have a pan heating over medium heat, and I'm adding in some unsalted butter along with some olive oil, just a little bit. And now I'm adding in the onions and a little bit of salt, and just give that a stir around. I'm just going to cook these until they get nice and soft and start to brown slightly. My onions have been cooking for a few minutes and they're all nice and soft, and I'm going to take them off of the heat and put them into a bowl and set them aside. Now, I'm using a sweet onion today. That's what I prefer, and that's what they used in the places that I worked at when I was growing up. So I did work in a few pizza places, they call them around here, where they did sell cheesesteaks, and this is how we cooked our onions. We like them chopped up like this, but you can go to some places and they'll have them sliced, and I prefer not to slice them because then when you take a bite of your sandwich, then you get a big long piece of onion. So chop them up, it's a lot better. So now into this same pan, we're going to add in our steaks. Just going to put 2 in. Don't want to overcrowd the pan. And then using a spatula and a fork or 2 spatulas, what you're going to do is break the meat apart. Just shred it up. You want to try to do that quickly because you don't want the meat to start to cook too much because you don't want it to get tough. So you want to shred this up as finely as possible. Okay, this is what you're looking for. You want your meat nice and finely chopped. And in Philly, you'll find cheesesteaks that are finely chopped like this, and then you'll also find them where the meat is in bigger pieces. So that's a variation. I prefer it finely chopped though. So now what we're gonna do is put the onions back into the pan, and then we're gonna put the cheese on. And just mix that through, and then top it with some of your American cheese. I like 3 nice pieces of cheese on there. And now I'm going to put the lid on and let that cheese melt, and then we're going to get it on the roll. My cheese is melted on there, and what I like to do is put a little extra cheese on my roll. We like them cheesy around here. So I just lay the cheese on there like that. And now I'm going to take the cheesesteak out and put it right onto my roll, just like that. Now let's get to tasting this. Now we put some ketchup on here. And the amount is totally up to you. I like a pretty good amount on mine. I was probably even a little shy with it right there. And then you cut it in half. And there it is. The onions, the steak, the cheese, all of it together going right here. This is a Philly cheesesteak. For the full recipe, how much of everything you need, go to my website, dishinwithdi.com, and try my cheesesteak stromboli too. That's a really good one. I look forward to seeing you next time, and I hope I made your life a little easier, more enjoyable, and delicious. Bye-bye now.